Welcome aboard. It's Captain G with Global War 85's Castro's Paradise 3.1 Soviet Union. At the insistence of new urgent orders from Moscow, we are going to move forward this turn with demonstrating once and for all the technological superiority of modern Soviet steel randomizers. So with that, we're going to go into planning phase. Global operations, none. We are not doing any global operations at all. We are moving straight to purchases. With our 19 IPP, we're buying a fighter for 8, an attack helicopter for 6, a SAM for 3, and a paramilitary for 2. We get 1 new cruise missile and 1 new anti-ship missile. Attacks. We have a number of attacks planned. Attack number 1 will be here. We are firing a total of 3 3 anti-ship missiles at the U.S. fleet. 1 is being fired from this major shipyard, 1, 2, and 2 will be fired from this nuclear attack submarine for a total of 3 anti-ship missiles at the beefed up U.S. fleet. We move this out of the way. So in defense, the U.S. will have a cruiser firing AMD, and it can pair with up to 2 frigates. He has 3, but only 2 per cruiser, and then that's 3 AMD dice, and then a 4th AMD from the air superiority fighter operating off of a carrier will allow him to have that 4th AMD dice. The destroyers and the frigate have no impact. So that is attack number 1. Attack number 2 will be a clearing movement attack from the Soviet fleet. We are sending 1 nuclear attack submarine moving 1, 2, 3. We are sending 1 diesel electric submarine moving 1, a destroyer, and all 3 frigates moving 1, 2, 3, with the intent of clearing out that U.S. diesel electric submarine in P71. So that will be up here, attack number 2. Attack number 3 then is the amphibious task force. So the amphibious assault ship will embark the Marine from Buenos Aires, 1, 2, 3, and after that submarine is either killed or forced to go into silent running, the Marines will go ashore in Panama. They will be supported by a cruiser firing first strike shore bombardment at 2, a guided missile submarine firing a cruise missile, first strike from Sea Zone P71, hoping to kill the light infantry in advance. And if that doesn't work, we're going to hope he misses the Marine, but the Marine will attack with a fighter and a attack bomber operating off the carrier, moving 1, 2, 3, 4, and then landing on the carrier there, which the carrier will come around in non-combat. We'll reunite the task force. All right, so those are all the attacks in this round. Those were not the attacks that the Soviets had planned at the end of turn 2, but the actions of the imperialists moving against Venezuela, the buildup of the American fleet in the South Atlantic have kind of forced our hand. All right, so attack 1 are the 3 anti-ship missiles. So I'll set those aside, 3 5s. The U.S. has 4 AMD shots. Drops into the Soviet modern metallic randomizer. Okay, so we got looking for 4 or less. Here's a 1, here's a 2. So that's 2 hits. These 2 are misses. So of the 3 anti-ship missiles, they got 2 of them. So only 1 gets through. Let's see how the Soviet targeting 5 or less. 3. Outstanding. And based on the order of casualties from the US, we take out the new guided missile frigate, or one of the originals. Doesn't matter except for the crew on the ship. All right, so that's attack 1. Glorious success. We made it past the vaulted American cruiser defenses. Let's move on to attack 2. This is the clearing action to clear the sea zone. We're going to set aside this because if the Soviets don't kill the American diesel-electric submarine on this first round of attacks, it has been ordered to run silent and run deep and live to fight another day. So we have 3 frigates at 2. We have 1 destroyer at 4, and we have 1 diesel-electric submarine at 3. And the randomizer. All right, so the frigates all missed, 12-7-5. The submarine missed, but the Sverdlov destroyer got a hit. Outstanding. So the American diesel-electric submarine goes down, and it fires a quick snapshot torpedo back in the direction of its attackers. Let's see if it gets a hit. 1. It did. Let me just make sure that I don't believe diesel electrics get target select. Good. Fortunately, they do not. So I will lose 1 of my missile frigates. So both navies lost a frigate that time. All right, so now the path has been cleared and attack 3 may take place right now. All right, so here's the defending U.S. light infantry. Let me do the first strike. We have the cruise missile coming in. The U.S. has no AMD. They moved the SAM out. So that's attacking at a 5. I also have the shore bombardment from the cruiser at a 2. Either one of these hit, the battle's over. All right, the cruiser missed, but the guided cruiser missed, but the cruise missile hit. Outstanding. Super fantastic. So that takes out the American light infantry, and that allows the Marine to go ashore unopposed. Operation Noriega is a success, and the Soviets have captured Panama. Outstanding. All right, we'll move immediately to non-combat action. Whoop, pardon me. The Soviet Task Force 1, 2, 3 will move up here now, off the coast of communist Panama. I'm going to put the crew, I'll repopulate. I'm going to land both the fighter and the attack bomber on the carrier force. Also in non-combat, the Soviet Army Group is going to move to Chile, Peru, and that task force will move here into mountainous Peru. And that task force consists of, let me move this up so for your viewing pleasure, 2 artillery, 1 next-gen MBT, 5 mechs, and 3 MBTs, and there was the 1 light infantry that was already up there in Peru. All right, and that is the entire inventory of the Soviet forces, because this guy fired and can't move. Every other unit we have on the map moved. So, having resolved combat, completed non-combat, let's move to end of turn phase, and that is placing new units. All right, so I fired my one and only cruise missile, replaced it. I fired 3 out of my 4 anti-ship missiles, so I now have 2. The fighter is going to be activated at the airbase in Peru. The attack helicopter, let me angle you. The attack helicopter is going to be placed at the airbase in Peru as well. The SAM will be activated in Peru. And the paramilitary, these are peasants that we handed rifles to. They will defend their homes in Venezuela. All right, now let's collect income. All right, so our base, as far as land zones with an IPP value, is still 3. That's Buenos Aires and Venezuela, for as long as I have it. That's base 3. A 10 for the war bonus. And now I get 1 IPP for every land zone that doesn't have a bonus of its own. So let's ignore Panama for now. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 land zones. So 5 bonus IPP. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 18. And then Panama to the Soviets is worth 5. Probably because of the canal. So that means the USSR has 23 IPP coming in to next turn. 23 IPP. I will do a status of forces just to make sure that my fellow player, tabletop tactician, and his inferior randomizer technology is aware of where all the Soviet forces are on the map, so he knows where to go to surrender and report for re-education and training. This is Captain G, signing off, over and out.